In this repair video, we're going to be working on the EVGA GTX 1070 super clocked graphics card. And the customer mailed it over here because it does not work. He wrote a big paragraph. I'm not going to read the whole thing. But basically, he said that the computer with this graphics card was shipped to him cross-country, and UPS managed to beat the crap out of the box, as he mentioned in the paragraph here. The video card fell inside the case of the computer and it bounced around. And he believes that there may be some knocked components on the back of the board here. The board does not have a plate. So he did mention that there's probably a couple of knocked components on the back. So the first thing we're going to do is visual inspection on the board just to see what the customer is talking about. And he pointed us to back of the board. So let's take a look at back of the board. And right there, look at this. K72 chip. It's totally knocked off the board and missing 3 pads. It looks like 2 pads they connect to this point, and it looks like this pad connects with this pad. And the way I see it, this pin is connecting here, so the chip must sit like this, based on what I can tell. The K72 chip is the 2N700 2DW. It's an N-channel MOSFET. It's a SOT 363. So why don't we remove the chip and solder it back using the top 2 left pins, and then we can run the wires from one of those 2 pins here, and then a wire from here to the last pin here. That should do it. Right now I did not check if we have anything else missing. Why don't we do so now? And I do not see anything else missing on the board. Maybe the customer looked at that one component and thought it was a few components. It's very hard to tell if you do not have a microscope, and I'm assuming the customer does not have a microscope. So I do not see any other missing component on the back. Why don't we look at front of the board? So let's go ahead and put that component back in place, and we'll test the board to see if it's working. It appears that the bottom left pin is connecting with the top right pin, but we need to confirm that. Meter in continuity mode. And we're gonna measure from here. And yes. Okay, so the chip is not good. The chip, one leg broke off the chip. And honestly, we do not need this guy here. We cannot use the chip because, as you can see, the middle leg is broken. But we do know that we have to connect this with this, and we have to connect those two right here. Now we need to grab a K72 chip. I got a donor board here that we can get the chip from. We should have that chip in stock, but I do not want to look for it right now. Let's grab it from here and let's confirm that the bottom right two pins are connecting to each other and that the bottom left and top right are connecting to each other. Yes. And those two. Yes. Great. So our analysis on that chip was correct. And let's get back to our board. Right here. Okay, I just want to tin those tips so we can solder a wire from here to here and then from those two to that point here. And now we're going to use our 0.1 millimeter wire. And for those wondering where I got this from, you can purchase it off our website. Just search for jumper wire. And before we clean up, we need to solder the bottom right two pins onto that point here. And by default, those two pins are not joined, so we have to join those two pins with this point here. And we should be good. Now let's measure to make sure that we have a continuous path between this point and this point. And we do. And we do. You want to make sure those two are not joining and those two are not touching. Very good. Now we can clean up. Look at that piece of artwork. Looks nice. We just want to make sure that the wire is not touching. One more time, let's test from this point to that point. And we're going to test from this point to this point here. Very good. And now we can apply solder mask. Now what I want to do is just quick measurement. We're going to measure in ohms mode. And I want to measure our 12 volt rail. Maybe I can go under the microscope here. I want to measure our 12 volt rail, which can be done from here. Let's measure in resistance mode. Do we have a short? And we do not. Let's measure our 1.8 volt rail, which is right here. No short. And let's measure our 5 volt rail, which is all the way to the left of the board on top. And we do not have a short. And we're gonna measure our 12 volts and 3.3 volts. Just a sec. UPS just came in, brought some packages, and he picked up packages. I do not see a short anywhere on the board, not on the 12 volt rail, not on the 1.8 volt, not on the 5 volts. And if nothing else is wrong with the board, it should work. And because I'm optimistic, I'm gonna plug the HDMI cable, power supply on, and we're gonna jump the 2 pins to turn the motherboard on. Oh, we forgot one thing. We need to plug power onto the video card. Just like that. And now we can power on the motherboard. It's on. And what we do not want to hear is the 6 beeps. We do not want to hear 6 beeps. Because 6 beeps means the board is not being detected by the computer. And look at this. Look at this. I have both my sunglasses sitting in the way. But look at this. Look at this. It's on. We are done for this video. That's it. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment if you have any questions. And we'll do something else in the next video.